Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. Your support means a lot and I'm happy to have you back here. From the title of the video, you know that today we are meal prepping together. So I meal prep every weekend and I've been doing it for a few years now. So I figured why not make a video where we can meal prep together. I can show you what I'm gonna eat this week and then a few recipes and things like that. So yeah. There's really a few ways that I handle my meal prepping, but I always start by figuring out what I'm gonna eat for the week and I write it down. This is a printout from a Tone It Up nutrition plan, so it just has like, day 1 through 7, so I can really just see what I'm gonna eat and then figure out also any groceries that I may need. First off, I really start by just asking myself if there's something that I'm craving or really feel like I haven't had in a while and I don't know, I just want to eat. And then I also look at the fridge and figure out what I have that I can make just so that I'm not wasting food. And I usually use the Tone It Up nutrition plan to find my recipes for the week. And so I literally just grab the app and I go into the nutrition part of it. And you can just pull out anything that you want. So if I know what I want for lunch, for example, but I have no idea what I want for dinner, then I can just go into delicious dinners. So that's a category. And I can see what my options and then choose something from there. And if I'm not feeling anything from there, sometimes Chris and I will just sit together and figure out if there's something that we're craving together that we can make so we can both eat for the week. For this week, I decided that I wanted to make protein waffles for breakfast, chocolate chip muffins from the Tone It Up nutrition plan for a morning snack. And they're supposed to be chocolate pomegranate muffins. I just kind of switched them up a little bit just based on what I have available to me. And then cauliflower gnocchi for lunch. So I've loved cauliflower gnocchi, the one from Trader Joe's, for the longest time. And it's just a staple in my meal prep, but I actually haven't had it in a really long time. So that's why I was craving it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it for this week. And I'm gonna show you how I make it because I have my own little recipe that I make every single time and I'm biased, but it's really good. For my afternoon snacks, I'm just gonna have granola bars. And then for dinners, we usually try to make something that both Chris and I are gonna eat since that's the only meal that, for the most part, we get to eat together. And most of the time we make it fresh. So I really don't care about just reheating my meals and having them like that. But when it comes to dinner, I don't know why. I just kind of like having my fresh meal as much as possible. So haven't figured out dinners yet, but at least I know that I can meal prep my breakfast, morning snack, and lunches for the week. So we're gonna get started with the Tone It Up muffins because those have to go in the oven. And so while that's in the oven, I can start working on the waffles. And so that way I can really save some time because I don't wanna be doing, all things at once because I've burnt food that way and nobody wants burnt food. And so I just prefer to work on one thing and then while that thing is in the oven, I can focus on something else. And then once I'm done with that, I can move on to the gnocchi. So that's the plan. Let's get started with the muffins. So here's all the ingredients that I need for these muffins, and I'm gonna use my KitchenAid to make everything, just combine it all at once. I know that you're supposed to separate the dry ingredients from the wet ingredients. I am terrible and I don't usually do that just because I like to save on time. So if you're a baker, I know you're probably cringing right now, but I mean, still tastes the same, at least with these muffins, so it hasn't really affected me. So anyway, I put everything together on my KitchenAid, and this is what I'm using, including the Tone It Up protein powder in chocolate, of course.
You were my best friend, didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing.
Once that mixing is done, I just like to grab a spatula because I'm gonna get all around the edges just to make sure that everything is mixed. And then I am going to add some dark chocolate chips. So I'm just gonna fold them in. And honestly, every time I say that I have to fold something, I just think of Schitt's Creek and David and Moira not knowing how to fold cheese.
What does that mean? What does fold in the cheese mean?
He folds it in.
Stray around like nighttime rumors.
So now's a good time to start preheating the oven. Our oven preheats very quickly, so I usually like to wait until I'm almost about to put in the mix in the baking pan. So I'm about to do that, so I decided to preheat the oven now. For these muffins, I like to use my Tone It Up muffin tray. It's a mini muffin tray, actually pretty small. And it's silicone, which is what I like because when you bake them afterwards, you literally just like pull them out like this. So I don't know, I just find it to be so much easier once it's all done. I fill them up about like 3/4 of the way because they do rise after they bake, so I want to make sure that they don't like overfill. Now we put these in the oven and they need to bake for about 20-25 minutes. While the muffins are in the oven baking, I like to prep the waffles, and so what I do is I put together like a little assembly line because I like to just be super efficient with stuff. I really don't like to do a lot of things that take time. And instead of like, you know, just like mashing the banana like you're supposed to, I literally just put everything together on this little like magic bullet attachment and literally just like blend it, and it's ready to go and put directly into the waffle maker. So saving time is kind of my thing, and I prefer to do it this way. So I literally have like everything that I'm gonna need here, and this is like my little station to put everything together and mix it. And then I move on to my waffle maker. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just really what works for me. I'm gonna use the Tone It Up Cinnamon Roll Protein Powder because this is my favorite for waffles. And really it's just really tasty for like baked goods too. So once that is all done, I come over on this side, and this is where I put the mix together. I already made one, so I'm gonna make the second one now.
Where did it begin? Where did it end? Hanging on loose strings.
Well, the waffles are ready for the week, and basically what I do is I just grab one every morning and I add a little bit of blueberries, some maple syrup, and that's how I enjoy it every morning for breakfast. And I did not plan this, it just worked out that way. But at the same time, the muffins were done, and I can't hold them right now because they're very hot, but it all worked out perfectly. So now both of them were done at the exact same time, and I can move on to making the gnocchi. Here you can have a closer look at the muffins, and I actually had extra batter left, so I ended up making like a little mug cake. For the cauliflower gnocchi, you're going to need cauliflower gnocchi. I'm using the Trader Joe's meatless meatballs, but you can use regular meatballs or no meatballs. Sun-dried tomatoes, kale. I like my kale in a bunch. I mean, you can also buy it in a bag, but I prefer it in a bunch, just like fresh. Some everything but the bagel seasoning, and vodka sauce. I also make it sometimes with pesto sauce, but I was really craving some vodka sauce, so we're gonna use vodka sauce this time. Now I wanted to clarify that I do not follow the instructions on the bag for the cauliflower gnocchi. If you read what it says, it wants you to add some water to the pan before you cook it. I personally do not add any water because I found out that when I added it the first time that I made these, it makes it just like very soggy. So I prefer them on the crispier side, so I do not add any water. I just make them my own way.
Unable to bend, I never listened. Trying to prove it, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing
just mix it all pretty well, and it's super simple, super easy, delicious, and there you go. Now that's my lunch for the week. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me as I meal prepped my meals for the week. I hope that if you're gonna go meal prep now, or maybe if you did it while I was meal prepping, this was really helpful. It was like having a friend in the kitchen. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any recipes that are your favorite, please drop them in the comment section because I love having new recipes to try. If you like this video, please give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.